Hey marketers, welcome back. Are you new to LinkedIn and trying to figure out how to use the platform? Or maybe you've been on there trying to do B2B sales and you're just not getting a lot of responses. I know LinkedIn can feel like a place where you go and you just reach out and reach out and reach out, and all you get in return is spammy pitches from other people trying to sell to you. But I promise you, this is one of the most powerful platforms out there. LinkedIn has personally generated more sales for my company than any other platform, like hands down. And I'm really excited to show you today how you can use LinkedIn for B2B sales. So if you stick with me until the end, I'm going to share with you how the platform works, but also how to get a sales strategy that's actually going to convert leads into clients. So stick with me. We're going to go through a lot of information. I do want you to stay until the very end on this, because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about how the platform works and what needs to be on the platform, what you need to do there. But then I am also at the end going to talk about your sales strategy, because even if you know how to use the platform, if you don't have the right sales strategy dialed in, you're probably still not going to generate the sales that you're looking for. So a couple things to know about LinkedIn. It's not a fussy platform. The algorithm is super simple. They're happy anytime you put content on the platform. So it's not like Instagram or TikTok or even YouTube where you have to show up really regularly and consistently. You could even just be on the platform working in the back end and not add content to the platform, and you could still do well there. However, I do think that when you're a contributor to the platform, you look better, because these prospects that you reach out to, they are going to go and check you out. And when they check you out, what are they going to find?
Oh, I see.
The first thing that you need to do in order to get ready to start prospecting on LinkedIn, it's going to be setting up your profile. So I have a list of a couple things here that I recommend that everybody do when you're getting your profile set up. First is, I want it to have a current picture on there, not one where you are 10 years old, or you're 50 pounds less, or you just don't even look like yourself. I want it to actually look like you, because your goal is going to be to take these conversations and turn them into real conversations. And you want to be recognizable. You want to feel like someone they know when you get on that sales call or the Zoom.
Oh, cool picture.
The second thing is set up your profile like you would set up your resume. So make sure that you have on there your education background. Make sure that you have on there your employment background. If you're someone who changes jobs a lot, listing all of those jobs doesn't actually make you look more employable. It makes you look risky. Like you're only going to be here for maybe 6 months and then you're going to move on to something else. So if that's the case, I recommend that you find the jobs where you've stayed the longest and had the most impact and put those on there in your work experience. Obviously, make sure that whatever you're doing now is the focal point of what's on your profile. You would be amazed how often I meet people and I look at their profile and I'll reach out to them based on that, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not really doing that anymore, I'm doing this now. I'm like, well, why am I just what? Okay, 2 more things that I want you to do on your profile, and then we're going to talk about my favorite feature, which is Sales Navigator. I want you to reach out to people and ask them for recommendations. Any client who has had a great experience with you, ask them to put a recommendation on LinkedIn. Those recommendations act like your same thing as Google reviews or Facebook reviews. We need to, if we're using LinkedIn as a platform to generate sales, we need recommendations on there of people saying what a great experience it was to work with us. The second thing is going to be your skills endorsements. Skills endorsements, anybody can endorse anybody for anything, really. So they don't carry as much weight as the recommendations, but it still is nice to have them on there. And if you don't have any endorsements, it kind of looks like something's wrong with you. So my endorsements, there are some random things on there that I'm like, who in the world would endorse me for that? I don't even do that. But apparently someone wanted to endorse me for that. What you can do though is you can sort your endorsements, so you put at the top the ones that you want endorsements in. And most people, because it's at the top, most people will endorse you for the things that you actually want endorsements in. So that will help get your profile looking really good and really ready to be able to transact business. You don't want to start reaching out to people and then they go look at your profile and it just looks kind of shabby or not that impressive.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Now let's talk about the tools that LinkedIn has built in for you. I love Sales Navigator. Now, I know that there are other paid upgrades on LinkedIn, but I'm telling you, Sales Navigator is the best. It's the best. It costs about $89 a month. I want you to watch this video, and as soon as it's done, I want you to go download a free trial of Sales Navigator and give it a go for a couple of weeks. It is a really powerful tool. They basically built it to help salespeople be able to sell on the platform. So it's got a lot of cool features. So that's the next thing. Now, once you have it, I'm going to talk with you about how to do searches, and then I will share with you how to use it as your communication center, and then we'll start talking about your sales strategy. So again, you want to make sure you have all these pieces in place, because just signing up for Sales Navigator and doing searches in it is not going to mean that you have clients. You've got to see it through all the way till the end. So Sales Navigator, why do I love it so much? Because of the targeted searching, and it helps me find my ideal client. So I can go in and I can search for specific industries. I can search for VPs of marketing. I can search for people who have been in their position for 10 years. I can search based on company size. I can search based on state or city or location. There's so many features. Now, LinkedIn, the platform itself, also has a search feature, but it doesn't search all of LinkedIn, and it doesn't allow you as many search options for filtering your list. So you're going to access a portion of the LinkedIn profiles, but in Navigator, you're going to access all 800 million of the profiles. When you do your first search, it's really important that you know who you're looking for, because we don't want a humongous list. I remember the first time I did a search, it pulled up like a couple 100,000 people, and I was like, that's awesome. There's a couple 100,000 people I could reach out to. But guys, it's hard to actually navigate a list that big. I actually don't have time to reach out to a couple 100,000. So what I really want is a very targeted list. I try to keep my list size under a couple thousand, because I want it really targeted. I want to know that these are the people I'm looking for. Once I have found that list, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to vet the leads. So in the vetting process, I'm going to look at their profiles. I'm going to look at their websites. I'm going to look at them on other profiles, and I'm going to engage with them in the places where they put the most content. Because when I reach out, I don't want to feel like a stranger. So for example, if I find someone on LinkedIn and then I see that they have a YouTube channel, I'll leave them a comment on their YouTube channel, because they'll see it.
Yes, they will.
They're more likely to see those comments in other places, and I'll connect with them in a couple different places. So for me, my vetting process goes like this: research first, then connect on a different platform where they're going to see me, and then send connection requests. Now, the next piece, and this is pretty important, is when you send those connection requests, they need to be customized. Because if they're not, the diehards of LinkedIn will come at you and give you lectures on not sending customized connection requests. It is a real thing. There are some uptight people on the platform, but it's okay. We still love the platform. Next, let's talk about how to use Sales Navigator as the communication center. So the main inbox of LinkedIn is very, very cluttered. You get a lot of pitches on there. And so it's hard to keep track of the conversations. They really get lost in the mix of everything. When you're using Sales Navigator's inbox, it's going to allow you to be able to keep track of just the people that you're trying to prospect and seeing where those communications are, be able to have it all in one concise place. You also have in-mail messages, which are basically messages that can go to somebody even if they're not a connection of yours. Now, I prefer to communicate mostly outside of LinkedIn. This is one of my strategies that helps me be able to get higher response rates. Is, again, I mentioned that I'll find them and research them on LinkedIn, then I research them on other platforms, then I communicate with them on other platforms, then I reach out to them, I connect with them on LinkedIn and others. I also, when I'm ready to make that initial pitch, I'm gonna do it somewhere else. So sometimes on LinkedIn, they have their emails listed. Sometimes they have their phone numbers listed. Sometimes I can connect with them on Facebook and I can use Messenger. Sometimes I connect through their website. But I find that people aren't on LinkedIn all the time. So it's not the kind of platform that you go to every single day unless you're a salesperson, right? If you're a salesperson, you're there every single day. But if you're just like the consumer or the other person running your company, you are on LinkedIn to have a presence there, but you're not there every day. So a lot of times your message doesn't get seen, and then by the time they get back on, they have so many reach outs that it's just a little bit overwhelming. So I try to take that initial reach out and put it into a place where I know that they're going to see it and I know that they're more likely to respond. That's, in a nutshell, a very fast version of how to use LinkedIn, the platform, and how to use Sales Navigator.
Oh, that's nice.
But I told you that I would cover the most important part, which is your sales strategy. You have to have a good sales strategy, a good reach out. I call it an irresistible ask. So an irresistible ask is something that when you put it out there, that people cannot help but say yes. They want to say yes to this. So when I'm using LinkedIn, my most effective reach out strategies are to ask for interviews. So I have found guests for my podcast. I have reached out to small business owners and entrepreneurs to interview them for a book that I was writing. That actual book interview funnel generated over 6 figures in sales. So here's a strategy that someone used with me. They sent me a reach out that said, hey, I just watched your video on, and they said, I really loved your content, especially this point, so good. I noticed there wasn't very many views, and then I dug a little deeper and saw 3 or 4 things that I think you could do on your channel to help you get more views. Would it be okay if I made a video and sent it to you? And I saw that, I was like, yeah, like that would be okay. I can't say no to that because I'm curious, I want to know. So when it comes to your LinkedIn strategy, let's break it down into 3 steps. You're going to have getting your profile ready and looking good, understanding how to utilize the platform and what the expectations and limitations are, and then you need your sales strategy. It's critical that you have an irresistible ask, because if you reach out to me and you're like, hey, I'd love to jump on a call and talk to you about my marketing services, I'm going to be like, no thanks, I'm busy. So if you're interested in really working on your marketing and sales strategy, go in the link below and you can find my Sales and Marketing GPS, where you can answer some questions about what you're currently doing for marketing, and will help you customize and create an overall sales and marketing strategy. So now that you know how to do B2B marketing on LinkedIn, the next video that I want you to watch is what is the difference between digital marketing and social media. Thanks so much for being here. Make sure that you come back again really soon so that you can get more tips for how to market on a budget.